Greetings, travelers. I'm Josh.
And I'm Kahi.
And we're the Genshin guys. Welcome all. This podcast is for fans of Genshin Impact, the mobile game made by Hoyoverse, also known as miHoyo. Here we talk about our opinions, experiences, and dreams about Genshin Impact. If you like our show, don't forget to subscribe on Apple Music, Spotify, or wherever you're listening to the podcast. So before we get started today, Kahi, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I have been... it's been a light week in Genshin for me, but a few moments I got to spend, I am definitely trying to make sure I'm prepared to dive right into Fontaine.
Literally.
Dive, get it? Because it's water.
Do you get it?
Sino, are you there? Anyways, yeah, I have been doing pretty good. We're safe. I know some of you may know that we are in Hawaii.
Yes.
I am not on that island. No,
right.
I am on the island next.
So
but
for
yes,
context,
there has been a lot of buzz
there
about it.
is it is from the volcano, correct?
No, it was actually brush fires
Oh.
in Maui.
Okay, so
So basically we had like a hurricane force winds. I mean, this is ironically I'm talking about the weather, but this is actually kind of a reason to talk about the weather. We had like hurricane force winds a couple of days ago, and on the neighboring island, those winds actually knocked down they knocked down a power pole, which caused a spark and caused a small brush fire. But because the winds are so strong, it just completely like swept it over faster than any fire we've ever had.
yeah.
So like the southwestern part and the northeastern part of Maui basically got charred.
Yeah, it's like it's
a lot of
devastating. It's
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah, if you look at before and after pictures of the same area, it looked like a bomb went off.
Yeah, it's
But
insane.
We're fine. The people we know are fine. We're just trying to make sure that we are available resources to anyone that we know. Just making sure we stay in contact. You know,
Right.
some of my coworkers have family up there, and everyone that I know and they know is fine. But there are definitely people affected by this. So if the area is Lahaina, Maui, basically, if anyone wants to check it out, maybe offer some help, that'd be great. I'm sure there's a lot of resources that are on the line on the website.
Yeah, like
Basically,
rescue things
any
and
Hawaii
stuff.
aid, yes, is directed there. So anything Hawaii related.
Are you getting? Because I remember when I was on Oahu and we had the volcano going off. Like, are you guys getting like ashes and stuff in your air?
No, the wind pretty much blew all of that away anyways. The volcano is more thick. It's more like slow, steady.
I see.
That kind of ash lingers a lot, but we don't really get that
Okay.
right now.
So you guys don't really feel it, but
No.
it is happening it was happening on the island next to you.
Yeah, because that kind of smoke dissipates very, very quickly, and it doesn't travel. It just kind of settles into like one little area, and it dissolves. But yeah, volcanic ash definitely is a lot more potent. We call it VOG, volcanic fog, but
Right.
we're fine right now.
Okay. Well,
But
that's good.
all I'm doing. That's
Yeah.
what we're doing.
I think a lot of people were actually wondering about that because they know you're in Hawaii. So.
Oh yeah, we're fine.
It's good to know. Yeah.
And so what about you, Josh? Any natural disasters near where you are?
Fortunately, no. So we do not have anything like that going on anytime soon. The weather here has actually been getting better. Like, it's been super hot and it's getting a little cooler now. So that's pretty great. But other than that, I mean, just in terms of like life stuff, like I'm just just doing what I can. I made some friends recently here that are like really into VR and like other stuff. So I'm actually gonna head over to hang out with them in a couple weeks. The biggest thing that's happening is next week. And now actually I'm gonna post this as an announcement later on the stream part of the server. Basically, like, I'll have to cancel this coming weekend streams because of the fact that me and my wife are going to do a convention in Vancouver. So we're going to be at Anime Revolution for all 3 days. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Unfortunately, this coincides with the release of Fontaine, so I won't be able to play Fontaine as much this first weekend. But on the day it releases, on Tuesday night for us, I'm going to be streaming basically all night. I'm going to be exploring, I'm going to be doing the story, just playing through as much as I can before the next day, and see how it goes. And then probably like maybe play after a little bit when I get back from the convention, but I'm assuming I'll be exhausted, so probably might just do dailies and then get off. But though, like it is really fun to do these like events, and it's my wife's like basically her business. So yeah, so we have to prioritize that a little bit. But that's it as far as big things coming up for me. But otherwise, yeah, really excited. I don't know if you guys heard, but we also did actually, maybe you heard, because if you're following this podcast, you probably already know, but we did a collaboration podcast with 3 other Genshin podcasts, and one host from each podcast, which was me out of the 2 of us, went and met and talked about Genshin. We talked about just random stuff. We talked about Fontaine and 4.0. And it was the first time we all got to sit down together, 4 of our very different podcasts coming together to talk about stuff. And it was really, really fun. We called it like the Genshin Podcaster Summit or something like that. But it was really fun to just sit around and do that. We released the episode on all of our channels on all 4 podcasts, like socials and podcast platforms. So, if you already listened to it, that's fantastic. If you want to listen to it again, please listen to it on a different person's podcast so we can get some support going around to all of our podcasts. That would be really, really great. And we appreciate you so much, all of you who not only listen to our podcast, but listen to the other Genshin podcasters as well and keep this podcasting community alive. And it was a really, really cool experience. And thank you again to Dalton from Hoyoverse, from Hoyocast. Not Hoyoverse, sorry. He's not a Hoyoverse employee. Dalton from Hoyocast, who is the one of the hosts of the Resonance podcast. So thank you to him for organizing everything and getting us all together, and then as well as editing, which is, we all know as podcasters, is time consuming. So thank you again to him, and go check them out. Give them some love if you ever get the chance. Okay, so that pretty much is our, how are you doing today segment. But today we're going to be doing our quiz episode. So for those of you guys that know and love our quiz episodes, hopefully you've been excited for this. It's been like over a month already since our last quiz episode, but we have some fun quiz stuff in store. I have some fun quiz questions in store. I don't know about Kahi, but yeah, it's really fun. I'm excited for it. And for those of you that don't know, we will explain the rules in a little bit, but have fun and test your Genshin knowledge. Okay. So, first of all, let's go over our topics for today. Now, we're going to talk about, as always, our weeks in Genshin. We're going to talk about Genshin news. We're going to do our lore quiz, our Who's Voice Line quiz, and Kahi's Riddles. So, those are always really fun. And then we're going to do our community discussion question, as well as Last Wish. Okay, before we get started, just one more Discord shout out, guys. If you haven't already joined the Discord and you listen to our podcast, we would love to have you on the Discord. We've had a couple of people trickling in from the podcast, from Twitch streams, coming into the Discord and hanging out with us, and we've had a lot of really cool, lively discussion. Obviously, Fontaine is coming out soon. If you need help preparing, if you need help leveling your account for Spiral Abyss, if you want advice, if you want people just to talk to and celebrate hanging around Fontaine, maybe even to do co-op with, come join our Discord. We have a lot of things going on. We had a game night, our first game night the other day. We have karaoke nights. We're planning on doing these events monthly. So if you're like a community of family-friendly, mostly family-friendly people who are, always willing to talk about Genshin and also hang out and just support each other, feel free to join our Discord. Okay, so let's get started with the next segment, which is our weeks in Genshin. Alright, Kahi, how has your week in Genshin Impact been?
So yeah, like mentioned earlier, a little bit light, but I've been revisiting my teapot a little bit. I'm doing some retouches. I haven't added much of the new furniture that I've accumulated from the events over time, but then I'm just trying to go through, see if the menus are different, but also trying to go to the teapot vendor to get some mystic gems so I can prepare for the new weapon crafting. The new craftable weapons look amazing. I love the color palette. I definitely am going to try and craft a few of those just for aesthetics, purely aesthetics. You know me, I'm just a purely aesthetic player. I don't really care much about the meta, but I do really like the look of those weapons. I'm also needing to practice with some traveler teams, knowing that if we're gonna go into a new zone with a new element theme, we are more than likely going to get a Hydro Traveler.
Yeah, well, we did. We saw it in the live stream, right?
Right, but so I'm just trying to test out some teams, get a good weapon for Traveler, obviously, but see if Traveler is going to be a Hydro applicator. Who else can I pair with him? I was thinking either maybe Candace, so that he can use his skill and still maintain Hydro damage. I was thinking of Beetle, just because I can give him a shield and, you know, have like Super Conduct.
Oh yeah, Taser.
I'm just really trying, Taser teams. I really like those. I don't know if I want to try and do a Hyper Bloom team with Traveler, which, I mean, I probably could, but I still have like other teams that I want to bring in into the fold.
Oh yeah, Hyper Bloom. That sounds fun.
If there's, the super meta team
the
compositions
super OP,
with Nahida.
easy to use. Yeah, well, you know,
it's so fun. Yeah. But yeah, definitely needing some Traveler ideas. Do you have a good Traveler team? Do you still use Traveler at all at this point?
Right now, no. But at first, when Dendro first came out, I used him a lot for Dendro.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But then obviously, since I started getting like Baiju and, you know, Kirara and Nahida and all this stuff.
Nahida, of course.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Nahida, game changer. Baiju also really good. But yeah, pretty much I'm good on Traveler right now. I actually tried using him the other day as Electro. Very interesting. But no, I'm waiting for Hydro. I'm also probably gonna do the same thing. Obviously, there's like speculation that he's gonna have one of the arc abilities, so like the Numa or the Oija or something.
That would make sense.
Yeah. So for that, I would.
You have to have
use him.
both.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the only character that we know for sure that they're gonna give for free, I think through AR25.
Yeah,
is
Lynette. Sorry,
Lynette. Yeah.
Yes.
So the Lynette is the one that does the shadowy damage, which is Numa.
I think so.
Numa and Wisa. And Numa is the two.
I think Numa might be the dark one.
Okay. So yeah, Traveler team ideas. I'm still gonna play around with that. Doing some more prep after this. But yeah, for me, I think it's in 2 days.
For us, it's Tuesday. For
Tuesday.
me, I believe it'll be around 8 p.m. And for you, it should be around 5 p.m. So, yeah.
Like an evening start. I'll get to see the sunset.
Yeah, exactly.
Slightly, yeah. So what about you? What you been up to in Genshin?
So yeah, it's funny that you mentioned teapot stuff, because I have been super on this like teapot kick where I feel like for me this would be until Divine Ingenuity comes out and I can just make domains like crazy. Having the teapot and being creative with the teapot is something I'm really interested in. It is what I believe in some ways like the true end game of Genshin. Not counting the Spiral Abyss where you build up your characters, but then after that, even after you've cleared Spiral Abyss, then what do you do, right? So like teapot is something you can always work on. You can always craft things. You can always go around the world and look for trees and, you know, get all the materials you need. It like kind of makes you learn the world of Teyvat a little bit more, like know on the map where to find certain trees and stuff like that. I think it's really interesting. If you didn't see it, Kahi, did you like see any of my stream the other day where I like toured people's teapots?
No, I was actually listening in because I had to work yesterday. I also was listening into the podcast a little bit, the podcaster summit. But what happened on stream? Did you get to go to obviously some of our Discord communities teapots?
Yes. So cool? I went there. They're amazing. Rex Lapis has like Rex Lap isn't is their username. Has like 4 different teapots with like different designs that show their different stages of like being able to manipulate the teapot. So the first ones, you can see how they like learned to do certain things and they were experimenting with stuff, and then like all the way up to the recent one where it's like super detailed and it's just really amazing. And Rex mostly does outdoor teapot stuff, but then we have another member of our community called Keo, and she does indoor teapot stuff. I mean, she does outdoor stuff too, but her indoor stuff is also just like so detailed and really, really cool. I think you should check that out because it's very inspiring to see all of their teapots. We also had Alpha Kite from the Discord also show his on stream, and oh man, he had a really, really cool one that I think you'll like, which is like kind of like a busy Chinese summer festival. It's kind of hard to explain, but like basically he manages to do like a forced perspective thing where when you go into like the in between these houses, it's like a Chinese alleyway with like lanterns and things, and then you come out and you see the big Chinese the Liyue Lantern Festival like giant dragon statue thing. It's so nice. So I would recommend if you're like kind of thinking about ideas for teapots, check out that stream of mine before the VOD goes away, because it was really cool. And maybe sometime we can tour some teapots together as well on stream. I think that would be fun. But I'm gonna start working on my teapot as well.
There's a content creator on YouTube that I've been following for a long time. The name is Unlucky Tabibito.
Oh yes.
Oh my goodness. I saw like every time I go to this person's channel, I see like they're making Venice and the ancient town. I mean, they recreated like there's not just purely recreations of real towns, but like their particular style is using like sinking methods, clipping methods to actually get a body of water into your outdoor space,
right?
And putting like boats on it, and like actually incorporating into a river style fountain. Like actually using water in your teapot is going to be a game changer. I really hope that when we introduce like a new
fontaine,
a new teapot domain, realm layout, I hope there's actually bodies of water we can interact with.
Right.
Which would make sense. I hope they do, and I really think they would be missing a really big opportunity.
You know what they're missing opportunity-wise that they could have already included? They don't have a desert teapot for Sumeru. They only have the luscious green teapot, and they don't have a dragon spine teapot. I want a snow teapot. Are you kidding me? that would be so cool.
They're gonna save snow most likely for Snezhnaya, which would make sense.
Right, I was thinking something like that too. It'd also be kind of, I don't know. I think it would just be really cool if they had it. But
well, there is a sand place in like the island one.
Right.
Like, the entire beach is like sand.
Right, but it's not
pretty
desert.
big area.
It's not desert.
True.
It's surrounded by water, right? So, but I mean like desert themed. Oasis would be cool too. Like one of the little areas that you can craft in is like an oasis. Anyway, yeah, there's definitely, I think the teapot, like we were talking about this in the podcaster summit actually, but like the teapot is like they're just like gradually stealth adding more features without really making a big deal out of it. Like
the menu's different, a lot of settings.
Menus, settings, load limit, like all this, like there's like a lot of behind the scenes stuff that they've upgraded that they have not really talked about except for like maybe developer blogs or something, and of course in the patch notes. But it is you can tell that their teapot team is really working on making it a really robust tool. And so I thought I should just get a head start. Now is a really good time to get into it, because back then in the beginning, clipping wasn't a legal move. You couldn't clip stuff normally. You would have to like
you had to shake it.
You had to shake stuff to clip it into stuff. But now you can just clip stuff into stuff. But anyway, I'm going on a journey of like learning how to be proficient in the teapot, and I'm doing it on stream. So if you're interested, if anybody's interested in like watching me experiment with this stuff on stream, this is something I'm going to be doing, and I'm definitely going to be doing it in the Fontaine teapot if we get one of those soon. I really hope we get one early. I because there's a possibility we don't get it until like 4 point something, but I hope that they just come out with it in 4.0 and they just don't say anything about it. But you remember that teapot, like the Japan themed one, the Inazuma one, where you have to like get the sakura trees in order to unlock it?
That took forever.
Yeah, like that one, like I don't even remember that being talked about. Like I feel like they kind of just, oh yeah, there's a new teapot domain, and then they just like never talked about it again. But then all the teapot people were like, oh, it's a whole new place. So yeah, it's really cool. I'm really excited about learning more about the teapot. So I was doing that this week. Of course, I did some exploration. I was learning where certain trees were and stuff to be able to farm. I learned about the little tool that you get from the Sumeru, what's it called? The reputation that lets you like absorb trees without actually having to hit them.
Oh, that one is great.
I made like a teapot collection team, so like it has Ito on it, because Ito gives you an extra chance to get extra wood every time you get wood from a tree. Did you know that?
I had no idea. That's a pretty good gathering skill.
Yeah.
I thought Kaveh had something like that.
Kaveh has a different thing. Kaveh and Yoimiya have crafting buffs. So if you
crafting, right?
Yeah,
right.
If you create certain types of furniture, they will refund a portion of the materials guaranteed. Yoimiya and Kaveh. And
yeah, that was.
They have different things too. Like I think they both have landscape, but there's also like I think indoor furnishing is like Kaveh has more of those, and then like Yoimiya has like outdoor. I don't know. I gotta look it up, but I have them on my team, and it's really really great to be like exploring the world a little bit with a different perspective. And the last other thing I've been doing this week is like last minute event stuff. So yeah, it's been a rush, like just trying to get some stuff done in the Bottle Land and stuff, because I did it on my main account and then left a bunch of stuff for the end for my other account, and I really want to get the rewards from it, so I'm going to try to rush it for this next, like probably tomorrow, maybe later today. But yeah, that's just what I've been doing. Okay, so that being said, let's move on to Genshin news. Okay, in Genshin news, we have 2 birthdays. We have Amber on August 9th and Mika on August 10th. So, 2 Mondstadt characters. Their birthdays right next to each other. They're both part of Knights of Favonius, sort of. Is Amber's Knights of Favonius?
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she's Outrider Amber, and then Mika is part of the reconnaissance.
Right. Sometimes like I had like this like weird crossed wires thing in my brain where like, because I kept thinking Fischl was like Knights of Favonius, but she's like Adventurers Guild. Like they're like not the same thing. You know what I mean? Like technically. Yeah,
there's like different types of knights. I mean, you have the Cavalry Knights, you have the Spark Knight.
Yeah, but Fischl's like not a knight. She's a
no, Fischl's not, but Amber is.
No, I know, but I mix up like Fischl and Mona and Amber.
Or like their role in Mondstadt.
Their roles in Mondstadt. Yeah, exactly. Because not everybody in Mondstadt is a Knight of Favonius, right?
Right.
So, yeah, Diluc's definitely not.
It's weird. Even Noelle technically isn't a knight. She didn't like really pass that final exam yet, but she's doing like literally all the responsibilities of one.
Right. She's a knight in training, right?
The Maid Knight. She's unofficially the Maid Knight.
Nice.
Which is weird because she's known by that in Liyue.
Well, reputation stuff. But yeah, so we have Amber and Mika's birthdays, and then we have the Linny Web event going on right now. It's really great. It has some Fontaine music. It's like Linny's doing a magic show, so help him get prepared and all this stuff. And it's just like those easy, like you click on stuff and you get a bunch of Prima Gems. So definitely recommend doing it. It's pretty fun. And then we have on Twitter, they've been releasing the Steambird special edition of like, I don't know, there's like 5 of them right now, where they did this for Sumeru as well. And I think they did it for Inazuma too, but they basically talk about different things in the new region and different mechanics. So they talked about like some of the sea creatures, some of the wildlife. They just tell you a couple of things to expect when you're going around Fontaine, which is pretty cool. I personally prefer to keep it like a surprise, so I'll just like go around looking for it. And but it is there on Twitter if you want to take a look at it and kind of just get an idea in your head before you go into the region. And then we have the Genshin concert promotional video. You saw this, right, Kahi?
I did, and my goodness, it is shiny.
It is very pretty. Just reminds me we don't have a Genshin anime or any announcements for the Genshin anime.
Can you imagine if they made a Genshin anime? Oh my god, that'd be awesome.
God, that'd be so cool. Like, I wish they made a Genshin anime.
Oh, you know who should they should get to make it? UFO Table. You know the guys who did
Ufotable. Yeah, they should probably. That would be insane. Like,
if they did that,
there's no way. There's no way that'll happen.
Oh
like,
no, of course not.
I don't think so. No. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Japanese animation company. I mean, Hoyoverse is kind of like a Chinese-based company.
Like, I don't think it's possible.
There's like a lot of complications.
It's very improbable. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
one can only dream.
Yeah, exactly. We talk about dreams here, right? Just for those of you that didn't pick up the joke, there is a Genshin anime coming that is animated by Ufotable, the team that makes Demon Slayer and Fate. And they just have not, besides the initial teaser trailer announcement, they have not showed us any new information or any new footage of the anime or even what the story is going to be about. So there's a lot of speculation, and we just like to joke that it's like, when is it coming, So we are really excited for it, and hopefully they will give us some news soon. So let's get started with the bulk of our episode today. That's it for Genshin news. Let's talk about the quiz episode.
いいだろう。
Okay, so quiz episode rules. Now, we're going to do 3 segments. We're going to do a lore quiz, we're going to do whose voice line, and then we're going to do riddles. Now, each one of these questions and answers, Kahi and I will be answering and asking them back and forth to each other. But for all of you listening, you have a chance to get points. And every time you get an answer correct, you get 1 point. And at the end, you add up all your points out of 16 points, and then you will have your title. We will put in the description, and we'll tell you at the end of this episode what the titles for each of the points are. Now, if you try to be honest with yourself here. If you got the answer, would you give yourself the point? But it is just for fun and something to challenge yourself and also challenge your friends with knowledge of Genshin lore and maybe just Genshin characters in general. So you'll get your title at the end. Come and share with us in the Discord afterwards, and share with us in the comments maybe what your title is, how many points you got. And it's just a fun thing. We love doing this here. So let's explore Genshin a little bit, right? So let's get started first with our lore quiz.
ワクワクする事件が間もなく起きる。そんな予感がするよ。
Okay, so in this quiz, Kahi and I will take turns asking 4 questions each. All the questions will have to do with the lore of Genshin. All this lore is officially confirmed information somewhere in the game. No speculation, no forbidden knowledge. We usually use the wiki to make sure to verify these answers and make sure you play along and check how many points you get. Now, we'll give each other a little bit of time after each question to answer, so that during that time you guys can pause and think about the answer yourself if you need more time, or try to play along with us and go to our pacing. Okay, so get that pause button ready if you need some time to think. But for you, Kahi, are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Okay, dun dun. Question 1. What is the name of the band of mercenaries that Dia grew up with after leaving her father's group? Is it A, Sovereign of the Sands, B, the Crimson Edge, C, the Blazing Beasts, or D, the Flame Mains? I'll give you a second to think about it. And what's your answer?
I believe it is the Blazing Beast, because the last one is hers. That's the one that she made, wasn't it? The Flame Mains? Oh no, that's her.
That is her. That is her title. Yes, you're right.
Yes. So yeah.
So
the Blazing
final answer?
Beast?
C, Blazing Beast?
Yes.
Okay. So the correct answer is C, the Blazing Beast. You're right. Yeah. Wow. Good job, Kahi. You know Dia.
I know Dia. I know Beto.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Actually, I pulled this like the Sovereign of the Sands or the Crimson Edge in her character story. That's what she said other people called her. Like other people were trying to give her names, and then she was like, haha, she laughed those names off, like, those are too edgy or something like that. Anyway, yeah, I thought that was pretty great. Okay, by the way, there is a theme for my 4 questions today, so let's see if you can figure it out by the end. All right, so second question. Dun dun. When Yoimiya first found her vision and didn't know what it was, what did she do with it? Question A. Oh, wait, no, question. A. Use it as a lighter. B. Use it as a toy to play with the children. C. Tried to break it to create fireworks with it. Or D. Threw it in the air and tried to hit it with a firework. Give you a second to think about it. When Yoimiya first found her vision and didn't know what it was, what did she do with it? Use it as a lighter, use it as a toy to play with the children, tried to break it to create fireworks with it, threw it in the air and tried to hit it with a firework. What is your answer?
I think she would have used it like a toy. Because, I mean, it would make sense why she may have tried to hit it like for target practice, but even though she's an archer, she doesn't seem like the kind of person who just casually does target practice. She may have made it may have tried to make a firework with it. That makes sense. But as far as, her first impression of a new thing like this, kind of looks like a toy. Maybe the kids would know. I think she played around with it.
Your final answer?
Yes.
Okay. The correct answer was A. Use it as a lighter.
Okay, I can kind of see that.
So what happened was so one summer night following her taking over Nagonahara fireworks, Yoimiya could not sleep, and thus she continued in her research until daylight came. Suddenly, she heard a tinkling sound, and a burning red object fell into an unused launching tube. At first, Yoimiya used her vision as a sort of lighter. That's just what it says. And then fortunately, her father discovered it and explained the vision's significance to her. So it was really funny. She was just like, "Huh? Does this make fire?"
Looks like fire. Mm-hmm.
Right? It has like a big fire like emblem on it. So so the correct answer is use it as a lighter. So that is not correct, Kahi. Thank you for playing. Now, let's move on to the third question. Bam, bam. One of Yanfei's weaknesses in legal work is dealing with civil disputes involving emotions and relationships. Divorces, inheritances, custody disputes, severances, etc. In Yanfei's character story 2, the quote that she has to say about this is, hopefully, A, people will learn to control their emotions for these matters. B, I can find a being that I might be emotionally invested in to better understand these particular disputes. C, I can hire an assistant to manage these cases on my behalf in the future. Or D, everyone can meet the right person and be spared this particular grief. Okay, I'll give you a second to think about it. One of Yanfei's weaknesses in legal work is dealing with civil disputes involving emotions and relationships. What the quote she has to say about this is, hopefully, people will learn to control their emotions for these matters. Hopefully, I can find a being that I might emotionally invested to better understand these particular disputes. Hopefully, I can hire an assistant to manage these cases on my behalf in the future. Or hopefully, everyone can meet the right person and be spared this particular grief. What is your answer, Kahi?
I feel like the last one might make more sense. I don't remember her needing an assistant, but I mean, I also don't know that she is personally interested in relationships herself. She seems kind of aloof. She kind of likes doing her own thing. She is very heavily involved in her work. So I think she just wants people to find the right person themselves so that she doesn't have to, I mean, anything to decrease your workload would be great. So she hopes that people can just find the right person so she doesn't have to do this extra work. So yeah, I think D.
Right. All right, final answer?
Final answer.
Okay, so the correct answer is D. Hopefully everyone can meet the right person and be spared this particular grief.
See?
You got it. Nice. Yes. Yeah, it's I think that was super interesting. Like that, it says like, Yanfei working in legal business, she has her share of weaknesses, it says. So one of them is this legal work with civil disputes with emotions and relationships. And she's an adeptus, right? So she lives a long time.
Yanfei is like one of those characters that has interacted with the traveler but hasn't really shown signs of, being attracted to the traveler, unlike literally all the other characters. So I'm pretty sure she doesn't have much interest in that realm. So yeah, the last one sounds the most plausible.
Nice. Okay, so you got 2 out of 3 so far. Now for the fourth question and final question from me. Diluc's father, Crapus, had 2 regrets in life. One was never becoming a knight, and the other was A, not protecting his wife, B, never helping Kaya find his family, C, never obtaining a vision, or D, never sharing wine with the gods. Have you think about it for a second? Diluc's father, Crapus, had 2 regrets in life. One was never becoming a knight, and the other was not protecting his wife, never helping Kaya find his family, never obtaining a vision, or never sharing wine with the gods. What is your answer, Kahi?
I think he regretted never getting a vision because I feel like he was in pursuit of that. And that's kind of why he met his demise, because he stumbled upon either some unknown power like abyss magic or a delusion. So I feel like he would have regretted not getting a vision, because that's, from my understanding, that's kind of what he wants. So yeah, vision.
Final answer?
Yes.
Okay, and the correct answer is C. Never obtaining a vision. You're right.
Aha.
Aha. So yeah. It said like in his story, in his vision story, it says Kratos had two regrets. One was never becoming a knight, and the other was never obtaining a vision. For this reason, in the moment that Diluc received his vision, he took it as recognition by the gods of his and his father's shared ambition. Finally, he could make his father proud. And you know, like yes, Kratos did have a delusion. So that is something that happened. So and it did play a part in him losing his life, from the way I understand it. But yes, so great. So you got 3 out of 4 questions. Did you figure out what the theme of my 4 questions was?
Sounds like it was pyro.
Yeah. That's it. Simple.
Yeah. Simple.
Dia, Yoimiya,
Yanfei,
Yanfei, and Diluc.
Nice.
Yes. So those are my 4 questions. Kahi, your turn. The stage is yours.
All right. So for my questions, there is not a particular theme, but they all kind of may have some implications, maybe some reminders that these things exist in the background, or going forward. It's still good to keep in mind that these things happened. So I'm starting from question 1. This flower has the flavor text as follows: a beautiful flower with a name that suits its appearance. It only grows where harsh winds blow, and is just as intangible as the heart, or as the true heart of an unbound soul. Is it A. Cecilia, B. Windwheel aster, C. Small lamp grass, or D. Calla lily? Okay, take a moment to think. So this flower has the flavor text: a beautiful flower with a name that suits its appearance. It only grows where harsh winds blow, and is just as intangible as the true heart of an unbound soul. Is it Cecilia, Windwheel aster, Small lamp grass, or Calla lily? So Josh, what is your answer?
Man, I really want to, like, you said appearance and the strong winds, so like I'm leaning Windwheel aster, so I think it's B, Windwheel aster.
Final answer?
Yep.
The answer is A, Cecilia. So
that was the other one.
Yeah, a beautiful flower with a name that suits its appearance. And it's comparing it to the true heart of an unbound soul. So this is Cecilia. It sounds like a person's name. So the flower was named after the person. So in
I was thinking
lore
of
long
Cecilia,
ago, there is a Cecilia.
Oh, I see. The name that suits its appearance actually bothered me because the wind wheel, the wind wheel that combined with the wind made me think wind wheel because strong winds. But then Cecilia's grow up on like the top of that cliff area. So.
Oh, the windwheel aster says a plant that adores the wind. To the proud children of the wind or the citizens of Mondstadt, the windwheel asters are the visible winds. So it's kind of like those little windwheel toys. So question number 1 is done. Now question number 2. This is a rare weapon whose origin is the ancient ocean. One can hear the sound of the ageless waves as one swings it. What weapon is this?
Oh, is this an open-ended question?
Yep. This is a rare weapon.
This is open-ended?
Whose origin... Yes, open-ended. This is a rare weapon whose origin is the ancient ocean. one can hear the sound of the ageless waves as one swings it.
Okay, I have a guess.
Okay, and what is your guess?
Man, I don't remember like what the exact name is, but it's like the Wave Rider sword or something. It's like the Claymore, Wave Breaker. I don't remember the exact name, but that's it. That's the only thing I can think of.
Could you describe
Unless
it?
it's the giant fish. Yeah, it's a blue and white like. It's like a blue and white, like swirly looking sword. Was it Wave? Because there's a polearm version of this thing I'm thinking of, but I don't know the name, the difference in the name. It's like Wave Breaker Fin or Wave Rider Sword or something. I don't remember.
I have a feeling I know which one you're talking about, but would you like to submit a final answer?
Okay. Yeah, I mean that. I don't know like what the name is, but it's that sword that I'm thinking of. That's my final answer.
All right, so I believe the claymore that you were thinking of is called Aquamaru.
Oh yes, I'm sorry, Akomaru.
Yeah,
yes,
blue.
Akomaru. That is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's the one.
Unfortunately, that
because
is
there's like a
not the
polearm,
answer.
right? Oh, okay.
There is.
I totally forgot the
but,
name.
Yeah, the one that I was describing is actually the Serpent Spine. This is the claymore from the Battle Pass.
Wait,
one,
what?
so-
It has to do with the ocean?
That
Oh, I had
spine
no
is
idea.
from the sea serpent.
That's why it works
a
on
rare
Beto.
weapon whose origin
Okay.
is in the ancient ocean. And that's why they
Wow,
back then they
cool.
used to pair this with Beto a lot because thematically it made sense and it does help increase her damage and because she has a shield, she always gets the buffs. For those of you who
Right.
don't know, a serpent spine is an interesting little effect. The effect is called Wave Splitter. Every 4 seconds the character's on the field, they will deal 6% more damage and take 3% more damage, up to 5 stacks. So it's one of the ones that you take more and you deal more. All right.
Yeah.
So 0 out of 2 so far. See if we can turn it around with number
Heck
3.
yeah.
Okay, so question number 3. This character was sent to investigate the abyss, and after her previous teammates had perished, confined herself into her wooden hut and trained by herself to then be able to conjure a, quote, squalling shower like those that adorned summer nights. Who is this character?
Wait, can you read it one more time?
So this character was sent to investigate the abyss, and after her previous teammates had perished, confined herself into her wooden hut and trained by herself to then be able to conjure a squalling shower like those that adorned summer nights.
You said she, right?
Yes.
Okay. What the heck? Friends were sent to the they were sent to the abyss. And is this a playable character? Are you allowed to answer
This
that?
is a playable character, yes.
Okay. Man, I need to read everybody's character stories.
I think the two big
Who would that
hints about
possibly
the character is yes, after her previous teammates had perished, so she's by herself. And then the squalling shower.
The squalling shower. Alright, can you read it one more time? Sorry.
Right, one last time, and for those of you who are listening, this character was sent to investigate the abyss, and after her previous teammates had perished, confined herself into her wooden hut and trained by herself to then be able to conjure a squalling shower like those that adorned summer nights.
Okay, I have a guess.
And who is your guess?
Yelon?
Are you sure?
No. but that's my answer.
And the answer is Yelan.
Oh, it is.
It is Yelan. Mhm.
So my thinking was someone who's really strong now and someone who investigates things, someone who is hydro. And so, I personally, my mind is blank as to what Yelan did to get to where she is. So I kind of just guessed Yelan was my best guess at this point. So, yeah.
This is part of her vision story.
Great.
And the person who sent her to investigate the abyss was Ningguang.
Oh, dang it.
Ningguang. And so prior to that, Ningguang, I think there's a quote, like, she said I shouldn't have sent, ordinary people to do this work.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And then Yelan kind of got mad, like, ordinary, and she like shot like past her and like into the mountains, like right up into the mountain, drained all the water up, and like kind of conjured the rain from the mountain without a rainbow. So yeah, she was sent to the abyss. I believe that implies she got her vision either from the abyss or when she came back from the abyss, and because she confined herself to her wooden hut. She was stuck there the entire time. So Ningguang didn't see her with a vision when she sent her, but the next time Ningguang saw her, she had a vision.
Oh, dang, nice.
All right,
got one.
So,
yes.
1 out of 3 by accident. Okay, this one might be easy, might not be easy. But question number 4, what was Signora's real last name?
Oh, what?
This open-ended question. What was Signora's real last name?
Oh my god. It's some... Wait, like... Because her name was like... Her first name, I think, was like... Rosalind? Or something?
Mm-hmm. You got the first name.
And her last name is like Russian sounding.
So I'll give you a hint, because I know this is kind of a long one. So her initials are RKL.
L? I don't... Okay, there's no way I just have this off the top of my head, so I'm just gonna say just give me the answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Signora's real full name is Rosaline Kruzka Loafalter. Lohefalter. Loafalter.
Oh, it's
all of the Fatui members know her name too.
Right, and I think Loafalter is not a Russian name. It's the name of her husband guy.
Yep. Last name of someone who either was like
he died in the invasion
like
with
Mondstadt-ish, I think.
Yeah, he's from Mondstadt. He was from
Yeah.
Mondstadt. Yeah,
so
dang,
RKL,
that's right.
Rosaline Krushka Loafalter.
Krushka, that's what her middle name. Krushka Loafalter. Dang.
So
okay.
This one is gonna be interesting because, as we go into Fontaine and Mondstadt do share like very, a similar border, similar like history, similar styles. Some people know about Fontaine a lot. So Loafalter could be a name that could pop up. Maybe we don't know their full, family history. Maybe there's someone who knows Signora. Maybe someone accuses Traveler of murder. Maybe we don't know what we're on trial for either. There could be a lot of crimes that we've committed in Fontaine's eyes. So these little things like this is good to keep in the back of your mind going forward, because I think there could be references to it. I mean, Ocean, Hydro, Yelan. The thing about Yelan especially, she actually mentioned Numa energy when we were in the chasm the last time we went there.
Right.
So she knows about it. So I mean, she's an investigator. She's by herself. She's pretty powerful, but she knows the abyss, so she knows Numa. So maybe that's related. But little things to keep in the back of your mind going forward, so it will kind of like cater to the surprise when it actually comes up. So those are my questions.
All right. Yeah.
All right. We're good.
So thanks, Gahi. So so we will. So that's 8 questions that we've asked. So check how many points that you have, and remember at the end we will be adding them up to see what your title is. So that's the end of our lore quiz. Next, we're going to do the Whose Voice Line.
みんなの分もあるよ。
So, welcome to Who's Voice Line, a segment where I will be sharing some voice lines from the different official voiceover dubs found in the game. I want to do this segment because, as a voice actor myself, I love voiceover, and this is a great chance to give some recognition for the voice artists, to bring some attention to the voice work. And this is the format. So I will share 3 voice lines from one playable character in each of the 4 languages: English, Japanese, Korean, and Chinese, in that order. Then I will give you some time to think, and then Kahi will guess, and then I'll reveal the answer. Okay, so let me get my first one set up here. Okay, so this is going to be our first one, which is English.
Power is necessary if we are to meet our objectives. What lies in wait for us? I rarely stop to think about it. No matter what dares to stand in my way, I must press forward. I've become stronger. Though it is still not enough, I will always face the darkness. For dawn to come, there must be those who dare to pierce the darkness with their light.
Alright, I'll give you a second to think about it. Alright, Kahi, do you have any guesses?
To me, it sounds like Diluc. Very stern, very resolute. Kind of quick to get his thoughts out. Sounds strong-willed. And it definitely reminds me of Diluc in all those aspects, especially because I can identify the words, so I know what he's saying. So those things kind of lead me to believe this is the personality of Diluc.
Okay, is that your final answer?
That'll be my final answer.
Okay, that is correct. It is Diluc. English voice actor Sean Chiplock. Yeah, I think that one's good. I mean, to be honest, there's actually not that many dark and brooding characters in this game so far. There's literally Xiao and Diluc, and they're the ones who talk the closest to each other, but with totally different voices. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's most of the characters. I mean, until we have, what is that guy's name? The new judge in Fontaine.
Nivelier or something like that.
Oh, Neuvillette.
Neuvillette, yes.
Neuvillette. Yeah, that guy probably is gonna have a very similar vibe to Zhongli, but broody.
Right.
Okay. Can't wait to hear more of his voice lines.
Yeah. So I mean, oh man, I'm just excited to hear that voice work too. So Diluc, obviously, great job. Very, very recognizable, I think. Let's move on to our second character, who will be in Japanese. So give me 1 second here, and here we go. This is Japanese.
本当にありがとうございます。こういった料理はとても貴重で、食べてしまうのが惜しいです。コレクションとして持って帰ってもいいでしょうか。あなたにはまだ及びませんが、少なくとも足を引っ張らないだけの自信がついたと思います。こういう時は何と言ったらいいんでしょう。今日は最も特別な日です。最も賑やかで、最も盛大な方法でお祝いしましょう。あなたのためにあまり知られていない美しい風景がたくさん載っているモンド絶景観光ガイドも用意しました。今日から来年またこの日が来るまで毎日が幸せでありますように。
I'll give you a second to think about it. And who do you think it is?
Okay, it's one of the young boy characters. A little timid, a little shy, but, strong-willed. Wants to keep positive attitude. This is not Chongyun. This is not Xingqiu. This is not Razor. I'm gonna say this has to be Mika. Mika, final answer.
And the correct answer is Mika. You're right.
Hey, there we go.
Hey, happy birthday, Mika. So yeah, that's Mika. His Japanese voice actor is Sanpei Yuko, and he's I think it's kind of sad because like he's not, and I've mentioned this before. I don't really have a problem with Mika in general. I just feel like he doesn't exist most of the time because he's not, like they haven't not featured him really in any story so far yet. Like he was in an event, but it wasn't that big of a deal. So I'm really excited for when we get to meet Varka, the captain of the Knights of Favonius, and and maybe we can talk more about Mika and Eula's reconnaissance squad because they're on the same squad together. To like really learn more about this character and like see them in action in the main story, in the narrative, or even in an event where they like feature him. So, but for now, yes. But nice. Like, yeah, I think you were spot on with like the character, the character model type from the beginning, and then like, well, it's not Chung Yoon, it's not Ching Cho, So, nice job, Kahi. Let's go. That's 2 for 2. So let's head over to Korean.
오랫동안 사람들과 교류한 경험에 의하면 몬드에 비해 이나즈마에서 예를 더 중요시하는 것 같아. 충분한 예를 갖춘다면 일 처리가 한결 더 편해질 거야. 신의 눈을 얻은 이상 소중히 여겨야지. 잃어버리고 싶지 않아. 동물 좋아해? 좋아하면 다음에 같이 교회로 나가보자. 내가 휘파람을 불면 작은 강아지랑 고양이들이 뛰쳐나와서 너한테 애교를 부릴 거야. 상상만 해도 기분 좋아지네.
I'll give you a second to think about it. Any guesses?
Okay, tall male character, a little on the mature side. Okay. It's not Zhongli. It is definitely not Arataki Ito. It's not Dila because he doesn't laugh at all. So
that's a good
this
point.
has to be Ayato? Am I forgetting someone? No, it's not Baiju either. Baiju's more soft-spoken, slower. Am I forgetting something? Okay, I'm gonna say this is Ayato. This might have been one of his lines where he's kind of being aloof, or like he's like being more casual than normal, or less formal. I want to say Ayato.
Final answer?
Yes.
Do you remember who lives in Ayato's house?
Who lives in his house other than Ayaka? I mean,
yes,
no.
Other than Ayaka.
Wait, huh? Another wait. Who else is in their house?
Who is his manservant? Who is his manservant, Kahi?
There's no way this is Toma.
It's Toma!
Wait, seriously? Okay.
Yeah, his voice is very
way
deep.
too deep.
Yeah, his voice is very deep compared to the other
Toma.
dubs.
Oh my goodness.
But it's Toma.
Okay.
That's Korean Toma. And to be honest, like I didn't get it at first, but then as I kept listening to the voice line, I was like, oh yeah, this is like a typical Korean like oppa, like Korean like Oni-chan kind of person.
I mean, I guess,
Yeah.
but it kind of betrays the character model visuals. But
I kind of
Okay.
agree, but like
Alright.
I'm not Korean. It's really hard for me to tell. So that's Ryu Sung-gun, who is Toma's Korean voice actor. Yes, much deeper than normal, but I love that there is like some like ability to play with that idea. I don't know how it fits into like I want to hear Ayato, Toma, and Ayaka together having a conversation and see if I can tell who's who. You know what I mean? Like obviously Ayaka's a girl, but like between Toma and Ayato, like I don't know what Ayato sounds like in Korean, but we could always experiment with that later. but yeah, it's Toma. So it's funny because you went to Ayato, which is like very close, and I was like, you were like, am I forgetting anyone? And I was like, so
no, because
yes.
I knew it couldn't be Toma. In my
Right.
head, I'm like, no, it wouldn't be him. Wow,
Right.
that's how much I dismissed it.
Okay, so with
But
the
it-
languages,
I
don't
guess that
count
makes
them
sense.
out. Don't
Mhm.
count them out.
Uh-huh.
If you're like, I don't know, like could this be Ayato? Then you gotta be like, maybe it could be Toma. And then try to imagine a world where Toma has a deep voice, because that's the one that we're living in. Okay, so that's the one the Korean players are living in. So now next is going to be our last language, which is Chinese. Mandarin Chinese. Give me 1 second here.
看，那里有鸽子，想跟他们一起飞呢。神之眼是神对我的认可吧？我要成为最优秀的侦察骑士才行。大团长出征之后，大大小小的事务都压在了秦的身上。如果我也能多帮到他一点就好了。
I'll give you a second to think about it. Any guesses?
Young female character. May not be necessarily chibi character. It doesn't sound too like heavy in the cute sector. I heard the humph, so it could be indicative of a personality trait. Not so much real. I didn't hear a lot of sass, so I wanted to say Diona, but a lot of Diona's voice lines is very curt, very strict. It's not Chi-Chi either. Yao Yao is more fun, more bright. So I'm gonna say, oh, she has like voice lines where she's like thinking or pondering something.
Do you want to hear one more?
Maybe one more.
Okay, I think Chinese is the hardest for us, so.
狩猎我也很擅长啊，怎么样？想不想看看我的身手？还是要来个狩猎比赛？
Any guess?
See, this is tricky, so I'm gonna go with Kaching. It's probably not, but I'm gonna go with Kaching.
Why do you go
She
with
speaks
Kaching?
really quick. She has moments where she speaks really quick. Maybe that's just kind of how they're talking in the moment. Maybe it's just an urgent moment. Yeah, I mean, young female character, not too cute, not too sass. I mean,
I'll give you a hint.
Like tone.
I'll give you a hint.
Yeah.
What about energy? What kind of energy does this character give off?
Well, that last line kind of gave me some Yoimiya vibes. So it could be in that realm. Which characters are like that? Okay, I may not have this. Oh, wait, hold on. No, I was gonna think Farozan, but Farozan really tries to like lean heavily into the old lady style. Young female character. Yunjin is a little more poised, a little more calm and collected. Oh, wait. Okay. Here's Zhang Is it Zhang Ling?
I mean, is that your final answer?
She's thinking. Okay, I'm gonna go with Zhang Ling. Yeah, that's the only one that I can think of that matches most of what you've like shown me. So yeah, Zhang Ling.
Okay. So the correct answer is Sai Shujin, who is the Chinese voice actress for Amber.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that
you were
really
kind of close
sense.
with the Yoimiya thing.
so
And
close.
Xiangling has, and they have similar energy, like for sure. I think so.
Very.
But yeah, this is Amber. Apparently, according to the wiki, this person was only the voice actor from 1.4 onward. So they must have had a different voice actor in the beginning. So I don't know much about that. If anyone knows about that, let us know in the Discord because that's pretty interesting. So yeah, so we have so that's it. So we have 4. You got 2 out of 4. So pretty good though. D-Luke and Mika, and then we have Toma and Amber. And yeah, so you know, hopefully for those of you that don't really pay much attention to the voice acting, kind of like, you know, try listening a little bit, like what sticks out from each character, what makes them that character, and see if you can see those things in the other performances from the other languages, even if you don't understand the other language. And I think it's like Kahi does a pretty good job of that if you listen to our past Whose Voiceline segments. But it's always a fun challenge, and as we get more and more characters, we'll only have more and more characters to choose from, so we gotta be picky with like what we pick up on each of these characters, because even though many characters may be similar, no two characters are the same. Okay, so that's it for the Who's Voiceline section. So let's move on to our last section, which is Kahi's Riddles.
風のむた、雲の行くごと。
All right, so riddle number 1 out of 4 in no particular order of difficulty. In a contest of hitting yourself, I would win in every dimension. Who am I?
I would win in every dimension.
So once more. In a contest of hitting yourself, I would win in every dimension.
Raiden Shogun.
Are you sure?
That's my guess.
Correct. It is A and Raiden Shogun. In a contest of hitting yourself, no one hits herself harder than Raiden Shogun.
Right.
I believe
In
anyone
no
else
matter what dimension.
ever did that. In every dimension, yes.
That was a good.
So yeah,
I was
you
like,
have to fight Raiden Shogun in her own mind, in her own dimension.
And she fought her own self for 500 years in her own dimension. But yeah.
All right,
that's
so
good.
you're
That
1
was
out
good.
of 1. Cool. All right, next up. I gave myself a hug. Who am I?
I gave myself a hug. I gave myself a hug. Who would do that and or say that? I know somebody out there screaming like, it's this character, but I'm like, ah.
Oh, I guarantee you some people are like, come on, Josh, it's right there.
No. I gave myself a hug. Oh man. Okay, wait a second. I feel like I'm missing something in this. Like Okay.
Okay, the hint
I got
is
it.
you
I got
saw
it. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. I just remembered. I totally remembered.
Who
This has
is
to be
it?
it. It's 100%
Who
it's
am I?
Nahida.
It is Nahida, yes.
I
gave myself a hug.
I was like, someone literally gave themselves a hug. Like, this is another double person trick weird question that just like, you know, you did the Raiden Shogun I'm hitting myself thing, and now this Nahida gave myself a hug thing, but actually there were actually two versions of that person in the same place at the same time. Interesting. Okay.
Okay, so 2 out of 2. Nice, nice. Okay, number 3. I hate everything except almond tofu. Who am I?
Shao.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, it's Zhao. Sorry. I mean, the first part kind of gave it away, but yes, almond tofu. For those of you who don't know, almond tofu, I believe, is his favorite food, like the only thing he'll eat.
Yeah, I don't remember if this was an event, but or if it was actually part of the main story. But you have to like
It's
do
his
a
first
quest
one,
where you
yeah.
make him almond tofu, right? So
Oh yeah, that was the first one.
yeah, so that makes sense.
Okay, 3 out of 3. Let's see if I can break your winning streak. All right. Final riddle. I fear no man, but she scares me. Who am I?
I fear no man, but she scares me. Oh, I think I know.
Who am I?
Ito,
Are you sure?
the one and only.
That is incorrect.
No.
It is actually Goro.
Oh, that's a good one.
Goro.
Because-
So Goro, very strong, resolute, commander and general of an army.
I see.
Fears no man, likes to be in the front line. But if you even mention Yaimiko,
Yaimiko. Yeah.
He goes stiff.
Tails behind his legs and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Tail between his legs. That's what it is. Yeah, I guess Ito, I kind of thought of like his sense of false bravado, but I guess you couldn't really equate his personality to not fearing any man.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not scared of anyone. Like,
yeah, but the Kuki Shinobu thing, you know. Like,
yeah, he's not afraid of her. He's like, he values her opinion and everything. She's in his gang.
He's like
Goro,
a Kuki's
however,
gonna kill me, you know, kind of mood sometimes.
It's more like I don't want to it's more like I don't want to bother her or I don't want to make her upset. Not like I'm scared of Kuki. He's not really scared of Kuki.
Good point.
He's scared of like consequence, right?
Yeah, that was good.
He doesn't fear Raiden Shogun. He doesn't fear Kujo Sara, even though like Kujo Sara stole his vision. Which is hilarious.
Goro. So funny.
All right, and that will be all the riddles for this week. How many did you get? How many questions did you get? How many points did you get? And Josh, what are the titles?
Okay, so tally your points and see how much you got. If you got between 0 and 3 points, you are a lore droplet. If you got 4 to 7 points, you are a lore puddle. If you got 8 to 11 points, you are lore lake. And if you got 12 to 15 points, you are lore river. And if you got somehow all 16 right, you are a lore Oceanid. Okay, so to prepare us for Fontaine, there are your water-themed lore titles. Have fun with them. How many did you get right? What is your title? Let us know by joining and sharing on the Discord. You can also let us know by tweeting at us on this episode or typing in the comments for this episode. If you like this quiz episode, share it with your friends. See how they do and compare your lore titles. Alright, so now that our quiz episode is done, let's move on to our community question discussion. So, last week we asked, what are you looking forward to the most in patch 4.0? Kahi, what are you looking forward to the most?
So, earlier, my answer would have been, I'm looking forward to the underwater exploration. However, since I was really practicing or like getting some traveler teams, I realized that the last two elements, his elemental skill, or the traveler's elemental skill, visually looks the same. It's just you flip your sword and you're scattering a bunch of the elements in front of you. See, for Animo, you could like hold a charge of Animo and kind of blast people away. When you became Geo, you could hold the charge and you decide where to create like a Geo construct. And then when Electro came out and Dendro came out, all you did is like toss the elements at someone. It wasn't really like a spectacle. It wasn't really cool. So I'm really hoping that the Hydro Traveler's ability is cool. Like at least utility wise, it will look cool. Like maybe a hold skill, or could it change up a little bit?
I want it to have
would
a
like it to look more
actually.
than just that.
Like I would love for it to have a shield, because then I could put him on Bloom Team.
As far as like making a shield, yeah, that would make sense. Like a water shield.
Yeah, we don't have a Hydro Shielder.
We don't?
No, Candace has a shield, but we don't have like a Hydro Shield.
Yeah, I thought it was Candace, but no, it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. We don't have a Hydro Shield. Oh,
Yeah.
that could be cool.
Yeah.
We have Pyro Shield. We have Dendro Shield, of all things.
Yeah, we have 2 Dendro Shields.
We have Electro Shield. A Geo Shield everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good... Wait, no. Animo Shield. There's no such thing.
Oh, that's right. There is no Animo Shield. Yo, that would be so interesting if it just swirled stuff by touching it.
Like an auto swirl.
Yeah.
Well, that's Sayu. That's technically Sayu.
But she doesn't make a shield, does she?
No, but like you're constantly applying.
Oh,
like,
yeah. It would be
Animo.
that, but it would be a shield that goes on other characters. That'd be kind of OP, actually.
Yeah, I've never seen an Animo Shield. Okay.
Yep.
Maybe they'll add it later. Who knows?
Animo.
But yeah, I would be looking forward to the most is the underwater exploration, but in the same line, I want a really cool Hydro Traveler skill. What about you?
I am looking forward to the story, because story is what keeps me in the game. It is what gets me more interested in the lore, and once I learn about the events happening in the main story, I will want to learn more about the world around them and the lore around those events happening. So I'm really hoping that this story is really engaging. I'm really glad that we're getting the story in like subsequent patches. So like we're getting like in consecutive patches. So we're getting story in 4.0, 4.1, and 4.2 of like the Archon quest. That's what they said in the live stream. So I'm glad that we're going to be able to progress the story sooner instead of having to wait an entire month and a half before progressing the story. So let's I'm really excited to talk about that. I mean, obviously I do this podcast, I do a lore podcast on coffee and culture, so just more stuff to talk about, honestly. I'm really excited about it. So let's see what our community is saying, and let's go ahead and pop on over to the Discord and look in the community question section. So, what are people looking forward to, most excited about in patch 4.0? Rai606 says Zhongli, no thoughts, just Geo. Yeah, I know Rai has been looking forward to Zhongli's rerun for a while, so that's good. The Zhongli and Child rerun is a big thing. Meowie says the banners too. It has been a while since I feel excited about banners. I'll also try to get Zhongli Constellation. Priority is Linny, and then get Zhongli Constellation if I have enough. Raccoon Warlock says pretty underwater environment and new layered map view. Oh my god, yes. Actually, I'm looking forward to layered map view for exploring Sumeru. Salido says Yelan, environment that is new, lands of Fontaine, exploration, new story. But seriously, Yelan and being there at the start of a new location with everyone, because this is Salido in the community's first time being, because Salido only started 4 months ago. And so this is his first time starting at a new area with everyone, so that's pretty cool. So Pavo Noctua says Child. Also, the moment everyone in co-op is waiting for the domain to start underwater, you know everyone's going to be playing mermaids. Yeah, that sounds fun. Too many users have been. I'm excited for the involvement of Child in the storyline in Fontaine. Yes, that was such a surprise that he just comes out at the end. I'm really curious how they're going to fit that in there. The Misspeller says new characters and my storage dying. Yeah, it's probably gonna be like attack another 10 gigs or so on top of the already 40 gigs on the iPhones and mobile. It's gonna be a lot, especially with the whole new underwater thing. Sarah Q, our guest from last podcast, says I have eagerly been awaiting for Lynette ever since MiHoYo released the Teyvat storyline teaser with all 7 nations on YouTube. Regardless of her power level from the meta perspective, I'm definitely going to make her work in one way or another. Nice.
Yeah, Candace Main. Woo.
Yeah.
On the same line.
Right. Ramen Amen Men. Ramen Amen Men. I personally cannot wait for all the new characters and sea creatures we're going to get to meet and see. Those crabs and seals look so cute, and seeing a new cast of characters in every region and how they play into the lore is always exciting to discover. Yes. Dementor Nerd says, water! Besides the greener side of Sumeru that we saw in previous patches, the only desert area was being added. I know some people love it, but I'm not too fond of the desert area. Second would be diving and swimming mechanics. I get motion sickness pretty quickly, and due to that I avoid playing some games. I love how the devs took care of people like me while designing the mechanics, and also love the fact that there will be no oxygen meter as we see in other games. Yes, just chill exploration underwater, bright environments, easy to see, easy to navigate, no phobias triggered, hopefully. So yeah.
No giant sea monsters.
Well, we don't know that part yet. Fox with Wings, new husbandos, and new exploration. So hyped to go achievement hunting. Yep, classic Fox. Chemleon says, exploration of new area. All the countries so far have been unique to each other, and I'm excited to run around a new landscape and explore. Yeah. Lax says, Archon Quest. I'm excited to see what shenanigans Paimon and the Traveler get up to next. Yeah, same. And Unknown021 says, Hydro Traveler. I'm a Traveler main, and every time there's a new element, I get more options and more loadouts. Nice. Alright, Kahi, so what are people saying on the Spotify?
So on Spotify, we have the Prinzessin der Verrutelung. Says the new underwater exploration. I think I'll enjoy the new mechanic, and getting a new Archon quest is great. Also, I'll finally be able to get a Bennett. The party setup animation is really cool. Oh yeah, the party animation. That's gonna be great.
Oh my god, yes. Excited.
And I always just assume everyone has a Bennett, but because he just pops up whenever you least expect it. Octira says, Yelan rerun. Need me some constellations. Yep. Yelan's a fan favorite. Presa says, I'm looking forward to the actually place Fontaine and characters that are coming out. So the actual Fontaine place and the characters. Yep. The Jester says, Zhongli banner, Linny, new enemies, and a new Archon, maybe a new Kyanrian. More than likely. Kara says, definitely all the new characters. I know I won't be able to get very many. I'm broke, but I know that feeling. But I'm very excited for the free Lynette and to meet someone who has Linny. I'm so excited to test run them all. Yes, I really want to test out Lynette so bad. Sophia Pereira says food. Also petting dogs. Okay, did they show you can pet the dog? Is that a real thing? Is that animation? I don't remember that.
I don't think so, but it's just like the dogs are so crazy that hopefully we can pet them.
Please.
And if not, we'll find a way, right?
Omo says easy artifact farming. Oh yeah, the artifacts are like, HP. This is the HP set that goes up or down, gives you a damage buff. Yep, that's gonna be great. Animal Strange says sea animals. Yes, I would love to see more sea animals.
I would love to see animals.
I would love to see them in the sea.
Yeah,
sea animals. I'd love to see animals in the sea. So Lulu says that one robot boss, OMG, I love it. This is all in caps, by the way. That one robot boss, OMG, I love it so much. It's dancing robots that look like princes and princesses that are in love. I mean, I love it because what's not to love, because they're all so adorable. I do admit that I like the design of that boss, like a dual boss. Like we've always had like the twin bishops, but this is like, another twin style boss. I have a feeling that there's going to be like a different mechanic that triggers if you defeat one before the other, like how their enrage is going to be. So you're going to have to go back to the boss and see what happens if you destroy the other one. What happens if you just, I know. It'd be so sad if, it would be great, but also be very sad if they coded like a, the death animation to be like, reaching out for the other one and then they all just fall at the same time.
That's probably what happens. Honestly, that's probably what happens.
That'd be great. Lastly, we have the Quiet Gem who says the Hydro Traveler and the party setup animations. Yes, I really need to see how the Hydro skill is going to be. I don't just want to splash water. Please be something good. Please. Something cool. Yep, that is all on Spotify, and that'll be our Q&A discussions from last week.
Okay, so since Fontaine will have been released by the next episode, we want to ask you guys, what is the first thing you plan to do when you get to Fontaine? And if you already got there by the time you're answering this question, did you do it? All right, let us know in the Discord, in the Spotify, or in YouTube comments, or on Twitter as well. Let us know, and we will possibly read your answer next time, next episode. Okay, and so for our last segment of the day, we're gonna do one last wish. So, Kahi, are you ready to wish on one thing and one thing only?
One thing only? Fontaine? No? I guess I gotta blow more wishes before Fontaine comes out. Okay. Well, I'm gonna be trying for a weapon banner. I already have Kokumi, I already have Wanderer. I don't need another Chi-Chi, so I'm gonna go for a weapon banner. Wish incoming.
I don't need another Chi-Chi.
And it's blue.
Oh.
It is the Skyrider Sword. This looks very useful, but it is not.
It looks close to like the aesthetic of like some 5-star stuff. But yeah, let me see. Okay, so I have about 45 pity on my character banner. I'm gonna try to go for Wanderer, maybe C2 Wanderer. So let's see what happens. Oh, purple. I got you, Kahi.
You win this round.
Yeah, stringless. Woo, stringless. I have so
stringless
many
is
I
good.
don't need it anymore. Yeah, but I have like 2 R5 already, I think, so. Okay, so.
I only have 1.
Oh man, nice. Well, you need more because it's really good. All right, so that wraps up the show for today. As always, thanks for listening. If you have the time, leave us a comment and a review. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're listening. Don't forget to check out our collab episode as well. Kahi, I think I saw you uploaded it on YouTube with like an animation with like with like Kaya, Eula, Baiju, like similar to the Harbingers
A little
characters.
bit, yeah. And overlooking a coffin.
And they all have thinking poses, right?
Yeah, there's a coffin and like a little
that's
urn
great.
on the table.
Yes. Oh my god, yes, the urn. Oh my god, so good. Anyway, so for those of you guys that haven't listened to the collaboration yet, go listen to it. We did upload it before this episode, and you can go check out Kahi's funny little stage setup that he did on YouTube as well. So make sure you don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Genshin Guys Pod. Don't forget to follow me at JSide Gaming, and me on Twitch at twitch.tv/JSide, and Kahi on Twitter at Kahiao, Kahiyo, and Kahiao on YouTube as well. Okay, so that's the end of our episode for today. Thank you as always.
Ad Astra Abyssos.
星と支援を目指せ。
Enjoy.